Okay, welcome to podcast 19. It's really good to have Paul.
Yeah.
Tell me, just imagine this, is that you're at home, it's quiet afternoon, you hear a car door slamming, and a military-looking gentleman comes to the door.
Yes.
And he says, "Can I speak to Paul Fryer?" And you go,
"Who wants to know?"
And he goes, "I have some very important message from Majesty's government,
Yes.
MI6,
Yes.
and I need to give it in person to Paul
Yes.
Fryer."
Yes.
So you go, "That's me."
How do you know this hasn't already happened?
And he hands you over a document, and in the document are your orders for the mission. Now, in your fantasy, what would that mission be? You go through. He salutes. He goes off in his car. You're left. You turn, and you open the envelope, and in it says, "What would be like? That is what I want to be told to do by the British government."
Assassinate Kennaway.
That's all it says.
Make it look like an accident.
Right, okay. And a small smile plays upon your face.
Yeah.
And then you crumple up.
No, seriously, it
you
wouldn't be
crumple up with the paper.
Am I on the team or not? That's what I want to know.
Oh, you're totally on the team.
Or am I working as a rogue agent?
No, they're relying. I'm not sure. Actually, well, it's up to you to decide.
No, of course, it's up to them because
with me it is. Yeah, go on.
Because they say if you get caught, you're on your own.
Well, it can be that.
Well, I wouldn't fucking have it. I'd say, well, hello.
Typical.
If I get caught, I'm on my own.
Union.
If I get caught, I'm on my own. Well, fuck you. Guess what? I don't work for people who have no fucking
Because
responsibility.
you're a lone wolf, like I am, and I go, "I'll take the risk."
Well, where am I going to get my gear from?
I'm ready to take the risk. They go, "Check with M," and you have to go to some kind of
Some idiot
warehouse in Wiltshire.
Yeah.
And then you get, they what do? They tool you up.
Yeah, right.
Tool up.
With some sort of pen that gives you an electric shock.
Yeah.
And then when you turn it upside down, a lady undresses and stuff like
It
that.
depends what your mission is.
Well, I'll tell you what my mission is.
Right.
Bring Blair to justice.
Right. You've already had one close encounter.
No, not that.
Right.
No, that's too obvious. Oh, what else could it be?
I can't think.
Infiltrate the doggers. Find out what they're doing.
Yeah, find out what they're up to.
Find out what they're really doing.
Exactly. Spill some yogurt.
Guy! Don't say stuff like that.
And
Drop some yogurt. I think it's dropping.
drop some yogurt. And
No, what
get
is
to the
it?
bottom of it. Yeah.
Carpet bombing. Do some carpet bombing.
What's that?
Have you ever done a carpet bomb?
I don't know what it is.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't, I promise you.
Guy, carpet bombing.
Like pooing.
No, Guy!
I don't know.
No, it's
I'm
not
naive.
pooing.
I'm naive.
It's when you drop carpets out of an aeroplane and bomb a town with them.
Okay, right.
It's fiendish. Low impact bombing. I mean, imagine a carpet hitting you from 23,000 feet. A big rolled up fucking Axminster. Tell you what, you fucking know about it.
Yeah, you would.
And they never suspect the enemy.
Yeah, it just looks like
It looks
someone.
like an accident. That's what I'm saying. Make it look like an
yeah.
accident.
So mine would be Kennaway. We picked you for this reason. You're the only man we believe can do this.
Yeah.
We've been through the files.
Make.
Do you have a reliable friend who can count on in a tight corner? I go, "Yes, sir." "What is his name?" "Paul Fryer." "Oh, yes, we have a file on him. Very interesting. Good choice."
Like it.
Good choice. "Will you need uniforms?" "We will."
Uniforms.
I don't know. I'm just
If you're
thinking on my...
undercover, you don't need uniforms, do you?
Okay, right. You're right. No, we won't.
Oh, it depends if you're undercover as fake police.
Or like, I'm thinking...
Air steward. Ryanair. I'd never suspect.
Exactly, chicken or fish.
They'd never suspect we did anything proper.
No.
Carpet bombing out the back of a Ryanair
We're going to
plane.
need to get you into the finest club in
Bradford.
Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa, it's pronounced.
Is it?
Yes, Addis
And it-
Ababa.
Port Said.
Say it again,
We
I'll
want you
edit,
to
I'll edit
infiltrate.
it.
There's a basement in Port
Say
Said.
it again, I'll edit it.
Addis Ababa.
No, Ababa.
Addis Ababa. I'm sure. Anyway, can you count on this fellow Fryer?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not sure. Are you armed? No, I'm not.
We're
Take
not
this.
armed.
Take this. And my advice is,
What
don't
is it,
let
a
Fryer
pill?
near the ammunition.
What is it, a pill? Take this. What is
No,
it?
no, he's handing me a gun. He's handing me a gun.
It's a Nurofen
He's handing me a gun.
Plus.
He's handing me a gun. He goes, anyway, and I don't know what my mission is, but my mission is that I have to go and pick you up straight away in the Aston.
Oh, for God's sake, not an Aston.
Oh, no, you're right. Well, I'm going to a cliche.
Look at you now with your
What are we on?
personality car.
Morris Traveller.
No.
No, it's too much the other way. Isn't it?
What is it? One of
We're
those.
driving fast to Salisbury Plain, where there's a chopper.
In a 1.6 Mini. Club.
Where there's a chopper that's gonna take us through the night and drop us. We're both in. By this point, we're both in parachutes.
In them.
No, we've got parachutes on our
We're
back.
in parachutes.
You know what I mean.
For God's sake.
And we're going to be dropped into enemy. Who's the enemy?
This is the problem everyone has these days. You can't tell.
Shit. Where are we going to be dropped?
Buckingham Palace.
No, that's
the grab of Buckingham Palace, and our job, Guy,
What?
is to assassinate the Queen.
Don't be so. The job is to look after the Queen.
Kill the Queen.
What kind of? Oh my God! No wonder there's a question mark after your name. The
No,
job
Guy,
is.
it's been proved that she's not real. The Queen, she's a robot, and we have to take her out.
Right. No, first of all, but we program her to knight us first.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? Would you have a knighthood if they gave
Arise, Sir Guy. Would I have a knighthood?
Would you have one?
Yes.
Would
Let me just think about it. Yes.
Would you?
And you
Have you
would
seen the list
too,
of
you
people?
fucking
Have you
hypocrite.
seen the list of people that have turned it down, Guy?
No, yeah, people like
David Bowie.
David Bowie. He turned it down. He didn't turn it down, for Christ.
Yes, he did.
Why? He didn't understand it, probably.
Joe Corey, he turned it down.
He didn't turn down a knighthood.
He turned it down, Guy.
Joe Corey would not be offered a peerage. He'd
was
be an
offered.
OBE or an MBE or
Well,
something.
yeah, an OBE, yeah, and he turned it down.
Yeah, but that's a different thing altogether.
How is it a different thing?
It's not like a peerage. It's not like a rise, Sir Guy. And then you'd be calling me anyway. Whatever. We don't need to get into that.
Here's a list.
The Queen has to. The Queen does not have to die. The one who has to die is Meghan. We have to take her out.
No.
We have to take her out surgically.
Paul Burrell. He knows too much.
No. But Paul, why would they pick us to do that job? No, we've got to go. We're overseas. We're being dropped deep
Honours
into
list.
We're being dropped into a seething, humid jungle.
29 people who turned down the honours.
Have they? Honours.
People
You don't know. Some would have turned it down without announcing.
Ken
it.
Loach, he turned it down. Danny Boyle, he turned it down.
Did he?
Yeah. Jim Broadbent. Jon Snow turned it down. Guy. See what I mean?
Well, these are the people who say they turned it down.
Benjamin Zephaniah, he turned it down.
Did he?
Yeah. Got your attention now, haven't I?
Well, he's a nice writer. He's a good writer. But I just think...
Paul Weller, he turned it down.
Well, I just think that, you know...
French,
You should
both
learn...
French and Saunders turned it down.
You should learn to be gracious and accept. If someone gives you a gift, you should learn to accept.
George Harrison turned it down. Nigella Lawson, David Bowie, Albert Finney, Professor Stephen Hawking, Alan Bennett, John Cleese, Roald Dahl, J.G. Ballard, Audrey Callahan. Who's that?
Where are you going with this?
Huey Green turned it down. Are you saying you're a better man than Huey Green?
I've not been offered one, so that I think me turning down a peerage is somewhat academic. I think
Rudyard Kipling, Guy.
Rudyard Kipling's child had just been killed in the First World War, hadn't he? Or was it his second child? And he was so bitter with the leadership of the country that he couldn't endorse anything that they did, I believe. And I understand that. But I just think if someone gives you a gift, there is a responsibility to graciously accept it. And to turn down gifts, no, I won't have that. You must, it is in a way rudeness.
Is it a gift or a job, though?
Oh, it's a gift.
I don't know. I think it's like
I think that
you work for us
learn,
now.
you should
That-
learn.
It's like saying you work for us now.
No, you decided who you work for. They give you a gift, and you say that's a gift. You should say thank you. That's really kind. How you use it and what you do with your gift is up to you.
The problem
but
is,
to
Guy,
refuse a gift
it's
is
some of the knobheads.
snargy.
Look at some of the knobheads they've given it to.
We don't. Well, they're knobheads in your book.
Well, all right then.
Perfectly
Do you want me
nice
to name
man.
a few? Do you want to
Perfectly
name a
nice
few?
man. What?
Huh?
I'm just looking through a hole in the door.
Yeah, well, can you please stay with this conversation?
Yeah,
You started it.
Yeah, very nice. Some very nice people.
Shall I name you a few choice arseholes?
What about Clegg? Nick Clegg.
Well, Cup.
Very-
He's horrible. He shouldn't have got one.
See, why are you just say clothes?
What about that bloke from the Daily Mirror? What was his name?
Robert Maxwell.
Sir Robert Maxwell.
Very nice man. I'm surprised you didn't know him. He had a yacht.
What was that guy? What is that supposed to mean, guy?
Nothing.
What is that supposed to mean?
Sorry?
What was that little dig? Would you like to expand on that?
No. Let's move on. Who else?
Philip Green.
Very nice man. Excellent manager. A dab hand at the great British talent of tax dodging, which must be that someone, and in a way he leads the industry, and he is an example to us all, rather.
So you think
in taxation evasion.
So you think you would have one definitely?
If someone gives me a gift, I don't say no.
Guy wants a knighthood.
Look, no. I'm just saying. It's like saying, I'm not going to have your gift, so it's not good enough for me. It's so ungracious. You know, I'm not very good at giving gifts, so I'm very.
Wasn't Oswald Mosley? He had a knighthood as well. Huh?
Well, he was called Oswald Mosley, but it could have been inherited. I have no idea. Anyway, what is it? You know, I don't. Well, I think we're not. This isn't a very interesting. We were back. Kennaway. You have 4 days to complete this mission.
Oh, for God's sake, you keep going on about this mission. You don't even know what the mission is.
Well, you have to go to Congo. Have you ever been there, Kennaway? No. But you're a man who can think on his feet.
Why are you sending us there?
How's Fryer? How's Fryer aboard? He's very good. Right, take Fryer. I want you to get into the president's palace. And I want you to rescue...
Bob Geldoff.
What? I want you to rescue Bob Geldoff.
Yeah.
No, I want you to rescue... He has a daughter, and we need her.
Who? Who has a daughter?
The president of Congo.
What the fuck are you on about?
For some reason,
This just makes no sense at all. What's happened,
We
guys?
need her.
Rambling on.
We need her. And here's a photograph of her.
You have to infiltrate Bob Geldoff. That's what it is. Bob Geldoff has been proven to be an enemy agent, and you have to infiltrate him.
Well, we just invite him to an art gallery opening.
How would you go about infiltrating
You just
Bob?
get Bob Geldoff come to an art opening in Chelsea, and then he turns up, and then you just conk him on the head and put him in the back of the boot.
That's not infiltrating him. Then you've blown your cover. Infiltrate him. How would you do it?
What do you mean infiltrate?
Infiltrate him.
Just start
Don't you know
talking to him.
Don't you know how they speak in spyware?
What you mean? Get inside his house?
Infiltrate him.
Inside what?
Infiltrate him.
I don't know what you mean.
Infiltrate.
Tell me, Paul.
Infiltrate.
Stop repeating yourself and put it in
for
other
instance,
words.
like, I'm Bob, right? Bob Geldoff. Bob Geldoff. So what happens is, for instance, if it was me, let's say you're Bob Geldoff, I would say, Bob, I fucking loved your record. Rat trap. It's a rat trap, baby, and you've been caught. And I love the way you said that. Can we go for a pint and discuss your back catalogue? And then while he's going, then I fucking did this, and then I fucking did, I don't like Mondays, and it went over really well. And I'd be infiltrating him all the time, infiltrating him quietly. That's how real spies work. They don't go off to the Congo. He would become an asset of mine, effectively. I would end up owning him, body and soul.
I'm not so into that. That's too psychological. That plot's not good. I like the
That's
one where
how spying works.
Where we have to like drop on ropes into the courtyard in the presidential.
Kennaway, you're fired. This is useless. No one goes dangling into a corridor. They haven't done that.
No, into a courtyard. And she is there, and she's bound and gagged in her bedroom.
Who is?
She's the president's daughter.
Oh, for God's sake.
We need her.
God,
they need her back in.
Utter nonsense.
And she's bound and gagged, and she's in her bedroom.
It's a dirty fantasy.
It's not a dirty fantasy. This is a
president's daughter bound and gagged on a bed.
It's not a national emergency. And we need her because she's got the codes.
What fucking codes?
I don't know. The codes to
infiltrate. That's what you have to do, guys.
We have to kidnap and
infiltrate, control, convince, destroy.
Anyway, we punch out the guards, and then we take the gag off her.
Guy, what the fuck?
And then, of course, the blindfold, and she sees us.
And she's fucking like, put it back on, tie me back up, please. I don't want to go off with you lot. She knows a good night out.
I know you don't know us, but you've got to trust us.
Guy, please stop. This is like some shit B-movie fucking script. You've got to read at least watch the Holcroft Covenant before you start coming out with all this.
I thought you'd go for this.
They turn people against each other by using their weaknesses. So what you would have to do, for instance, is you would have to infiltrate, I don't know, let's say, for instance, for argument's sake, Lenny Henry. Right. You would have to go and infiltrate Lenny Henry.
I don't want to.
Guy, it's not, you do it for Queen and Country. They would know, you would never, for a start, the first thing I've got to say to you is you would never know why you were doing the infiltration. You would never know why, and you just have to let that go. You're just a cog in a wheel, and you would go along there, you would find out what Lenny's weaknesses were, and you would exploit them ruthlessly and give all the information to your handlers. That's what would happen.
Looks like chips and hamburgers.
What?
Isn't he a big man?
Yes, well, it could be chips and hamburgers, but you'd have to find out what it is and give that data to your handlers so that they could get some juice.
Okay. I'm your handler. I want you to infiltrate Paul.
Who am I going to infiltrate then?
You're going to have to infiltrate. Who's Paul got to infiltrate? He's got to infiltrate someone. Someone.
No, I don't.
I have to send you off on this mission.
You
Paul.
could have me assassinate someone if you want.
Fryer.
I'm prepared to assassinate as well as infiltrate.
No, you said I wasn't allowed to do anything like that.
No,
assassinate. No, I want you to go and kidnap the
We're not the
daughter.
Russians.
I'm
not kidnapping anybody.
You're not kidnapping anyone.
No, I'm not doing
That's
it.
what I want to do, and I want to kind of like have to, hoist her up on the back on the.
This is
back
just
on the,
it's just
back
a
on the
perversion,
road.
guys. It's got nothing.
It's not a perversion. It's a national emergency, Paul.
Okay. Right. So, who is the biggest threat in our country at the minute to national security?
Nobody. That's the beautiful thing is you can't threaten our national security because we're such an amazing country.
Right.
It's so lovely. Laugh about it.
Michael Portillo.
Oh, very. Michael Portillo. No, he's more like gagged and bound on a bed and wants to be kidnapped. But I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, sir. I love my country.
There's some things I can't do.
I'm not kidnapping her.
Michael Portillo. Come on, let's. Why
He's
don't
got
we?
Such a weird sexuality. It's so. I don't know whether you're getting
Metrosexual.
He's what?
He's metrosexual.
What does that mean? He shags.
Buildings.
Metros, right.
I think it means that you're from a town and you'll do anything for love, even that. It means that it's the modern sexual man, the modern sexuality guy.
I'm into more old school.
Like when men are, when it means that men are gender fluid, flexible, bendable.
That's not for me. I'm very much more old school than you.
Moral turpitude can happen. Everything.
That sounds like a gentleman on a night out.
You and Michael. Have you ever seen him in real life?
Yes, weirdly I have.
He's got an enormous head.
I have once. I was walking in Green Park towards Victoria, and he was pouncing. I can't say this. It's so horrible, and I don't mean to. But he is such an extraordinary physical specimen and kind of intellectual specimen. It's like talk about showbiz for ugly people and politics. He's just like. It's an ego on a stick. It's absolutely a man who will do and say anything for attention. Don't you feel that? As he's one of those people.
So when you saw him, what was he wearing? A pink Pringle jumper?
No, a blazer, of course. A blue, double-breasted with I think 6 brass buttons. Absolutely.
The cricket club.
And I think he had dark trousers on, and he had a sort of briefcase with him, and he was walking down the street.
What was he doing then?
He was
trundling.
He was going about his business.
Was he trundling down the street?
He was going about his business, and I just felt.
Who was that couple? They were a Tory. It was a Tory MP and his wife, and
Bottomley.
She had white hair, and he was on everything. He would just go on anything.
No, Cheshire. He was a Cheshire.
And he got done for.
And she was called Nina. Was she?
He got done for lying. Aitken.
No.
Jonathan Aitken.
No, Jonathan Aitken was another one. He went to prison because. Do you remember he
was
took
a
the
knobhead.
Guardian? He took the Guardian to court and was found.
Called them.
He wanted to unsheath the
sword of truth. Neil Hamilton.
Neil Hamilton. That's it. And she was called Christine.
Neil and Christine
She's called
Hamilton.
Christine, yeah.
What happened to them?
Well, I think he probably plies his trade and does after dinner speaking, and you can probably rent him to come and open your fate.
He was really dodgy as fuck. Anyway, that's your mission.
I've got to infiltrate.
You've got to infiltrate Neil Hamilton.
Very easy.
Because I think he's actually up to something.
What?
Well, destabilising stuff and lying, selling secrets, spying.
Do you think so?
Yeah, can you think of somebody worse than him?
Yeah.
Who?
Loads of people.
Who?
Do you know a man called Fryer?
Oh, for God's sake, Guy, I'm serious. Who?
Well, I wouldn't put myself morally above Neil Hamilton. You know, I've never been in the position where someone has said, Guy, here's 10 grand in a brown envelope. Will you stand up in the House of Commons and ask a question? I wouldn't like to be put in that situation. I'll be honest.
Right.
I wouldn't like to be put there. You know, because I might just go, you know something, pop the 10 grand in that drawer. What's the question? And to judge, you know, I don't want to put my finger at him and go.
Do you know what he is now?
Let me guess. He is on the board of directors of a call centre company in India and Britain.
He's the head of the United Kingdom Independence Party in Wales.
Classic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, UKIP.
UKIP.
Actually, I remember that he got to UKIP. Yeah.
Shocking. They were talking about space today and how they're going to exploit space.
I wish we were simple men, but we've gone too far.
They're going to exploit space
That
now.
train has left the station, Paul. That train has
They're going to
left
dig up the moon guy and exploit it.
We've fucked it up. It's too late.
This woman on Radio 4 today, did you hear it? In total,
No,
Radio
I don't
2,
listen to
totally serious. Said, we've got to stop looking at space as somewhere we're exploring and just see it as a business opportunity. It's just business. We go to space, we go to the moon, and we just do business there, and we exploit it and get whatever we can out of it, and sell it on and make money out of it and move forward.
Ryanair is it?
That's what she said, this woman. Space expert. That's the only way we're going to do it, she said. She said the first trillionaire will be made on Earth by somebody, not who explores space, but by somebody who sells the hardware and material to get people to the moon, probably, at this stage in the game. And she said, and they will exploit the moon, they will excavate the moon, they will suck out the resources of the moon, and they will exploit that money, and they'll make more money, and that's how we'll go into space. That's how the human race will expand from this planet, like a plague of locusts, Guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That seems to be like someone trying to cure their cancer by digging a hole in the ground and burying their head in it.
Why? How does that? That's a bit.
It's
of a
just
weird
like
metaphor.
it's just like that's not the cure of our. You know that's just not the solution to our problems. Or like having a broken arm and just hitting it with a hammer. You know that's the cause of our problems. That attitude.
But that's what we're going to do.
I'm sure we'll run out of money for
The Chinese have landed this probe on the dark side of the moon, and they're saying that's what it's for. They're not there to fuck around. They're not there to have a look. They're there to go there and then extract the minerals and extract helium-3 from the moon. An isotope of helium which they think will be extremely useful in propulsion, among other things. Fusion.
What that old dry rock has got something in it that
helium-3, loads of it. So, which they're using fusion, and they think that that's going to take us to to Mars first.
But these are all just dry, dead, dreadful nuts, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think it's like. But then people are saying, you know, like, so you don't think we should be doing that when the Earth is so fucked up?
Well, yeah, totally. I mean, it's just a complete waste of fucking time and money and energy.
But how else can we expand? Her argument was if there are 17, instead of 9 billion, if there are 19 billion people spread over 4 worlds, imagine how many more Einsteins there would be, or imagine how many more discoveries we could make, and how we could expand out across the universe and do things across our galaxy first. And that's what she was saying. That's what we should be doing.
She just watched too many movies.
Do you think she's mental?
Yeah, I do. I just think she's just got an excess of egotism and kind of belief in the sort of powers of humanity.
Really?
I just think she should just get back in her box and just go for a walk and just,
You mean just fuck off?
Well, yeah, in a way she's like kind of, it's like having a small village in Somerset and wanting to annex Poland, just shut up. Just enjoy your village. Stop trying to expand. Stop trying to expand. Live within your means. That's the way to be happy, not to constantly want more.
Well, that's not what people are doing, though, is it?
But I definitely don't think there's anything on that dry old rock.
Well, there is. There's helium-3 in the outer crust, they think.
Okay, all right. Enlighten me. Helium-3.
Helium-3 is...
Did you read it? Did you see it in a film or read it in a book?
No, helium-3 is a stable isotope of helium, but it spontaneously undergoes fusion, apparently, with certain energy levels. You can make fusion reactions with it, and it exists here, but it's hard. But there's loads of it. They think there's loads of it on the moon that's come out of the sun and been embedded in the surface of the moon. So we can go and get that because it's actually stuck to the surface of the moon. So there's nowhere for it to go, and it's incredibly valuable because it could mean that we could build fusion reactors and therefore possibly.
I don't know. To me, it's like going on a 12-hour journey to get a raspberry.
It's only 2 days away, the moon.
No, I mean, but it,
Right.
by the time you go somewhere that's actually worth getting something from, which is obviously nowhere near us because we've checked out, we're going to end up going absolutely miles to get almost nothing, instead of just
Get a raspberry.
you know what I mean? It's just so ridiculous. It just does. Why not just try and improve it in your own fucking village?
The moon's hollow.
I don't know where that woman lives.
The moon might be hollow.
But I bet you if I went round her village or her town, I'd say, have you noticed that it's totally fucking shite where you live? 800 yards from your house, because it's true of almost any house in Britain that there's litter strewn everywhere, or there's like a crapped school, or you know what I mean, or
Cars
like,
on
or
bricks
there's some
burned
domestic
out.
violence or cars burned out. Why don't you fucking sort that out before you start worrying about the moon, man?
But then you're blaming science for the Earth's problems. It's not the Earth's problem.
No, I'm not saying I'm blaming science at all. I'm just blaming her. I'm just saying get your mind off some completely irrelevant issue.
She's a businesswoman. She wants to do business in space.
Okay, well, businesswomen should be reined in, and these corporations should be told to sit down and get behind the queue.
Do you know that the moon, Guy, that we don't know how it was formed? Do you know that?
We do.
No, we don't.
I do.
Go on then, how was it formed?
I'm not going to tell you.
Guy, how was the moon formed?
It came in a chunk from... I don't care where the fucking moon came from, Paul. I don't care. There's so many more important things. I'm serious. Don't waste your time on this shit. Think about your heart. Think about the relationships that you have in your family and that with your friends and your lovers and your community. That's what matters. Stop fucking thinking about something that's 10 million miles away. More. Think about the things that matter. It's just a total distraction.
Why can't you think about both things?
Well, let me see you think about the first thing first.
Well, loads of people think about that.
No, they don't. All these scientists, they live appalling lives within horrible communities with dreadful values.
Do you hate science?
No, I don't hate, but I'm not saying I'm just
You don't like
scientists,
it when
but we
you're
all do. We all live in this.
when you're on your
we all
iPad
live
or
in this.
whatever.
We all live in this absolutely horrible situation, and yet, for some reason, we're kind of trying to ruin another planet.
Scientists do experiments on animals.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not totally. I'm a bit against that.
They blow pigs up, you know that, don't you?
Do they?
Do you know the Israelis have got a cannon which fires chickens out at twice the speed of sound?
That's nice.
Do you know why they've got that?
Scrambled eggs.
No. They fire it at jet engines to simulate bird strikes.
Oh, right.
They stick a chicken in it and they fire it at a jet engine.
Right. The Israelis, they thought of everything.
Would you like one of those?
No, I would.
We could tool you up with that for your mission.
Kennaway.
Here's a full clip of Buxton's.
I'm sorry that you didn't get into my. I would like to.
Guy,
What
we
about
try
the
again?
old fruits? No. Where?
What were we laughing at? We can't even think. We've lost it. We've lost the pod.
We have.
I don't know. We've been rambling on for ages.
We haven't.
Eh?
I said to Kat, just said, how's it going? I said,